So, welcome everyone to another episode of Pep Talks. This is Pep Talks number 2, and I'm talking to my friend and children's author, Tanja Hansson.
Hello.
How you doing, Tanja?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. Just so I know lots about you, but for others to get a bit of knowledge about you. But what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to do it in the form of questions. So we'll do it and we'll get it out of the way dead quick. So,
Yep.
First of all, question 1, what's your name?
Tanja Hansson.
Number 2, where were you born, town and country?
Lund in Sweden.
Right. And question 3, shouldn't ask a lady her age, but if you want to tell me how old are you?
Almost 31.
Almost 31. And what's your occupation?
I'm a freelance writer.
Wonderful. And have you had any works published?
I have.
And what's the name of your published works?
The Adventures of Gale and the Dying Sun.
Right then, that's a children's book.
Yes.
So Tanja, from talking to you on previous conversations, I knew you were brought up in Sweden and you came to England in your early 20s. What was life like growing up in Sweden?
Wonderful. I spent a lot of my childhood outside, as you did in the early 90s. And I also grew up by the sea. And in Sweden, we have something called Every Man Right to Roam, and that means you can go everywhere. No one owns lakes or forests. You can own them, but you can still go in there and camp. So most of my childhood was spent outside. I loved it.
And I know sometimes when you talk of Sweden, you talk of home. But
yeah.
Where is your home? Is it Sweden or is it Staffordshire at the moment?
Both.
That's it. You can have both.
Yeah.
What's the best bits about both of them?
So the best thing about Sweden is obviously it's my home country. It's the nature, it's the lakes, it's the sea, and it's my family's there. The best part of living here, I think, in Rugeley is the community. I love the community here, and I love Cannock Chase. It's stunning. And I also love in England, there's opportunity. So you can go into pretty much any job and work your way up, which you really can't in Sweden. So, which I did here, and I'm really grateful for those opportunities.
Although you say that growing up in Sweden was rather idyllic and beautiful, we can all conjure up images of what it's like to sort of been brought up in a Scandinavian country. School wasn't always the best place for you, was it though?
No, I struggle with the bullies, especially from the age of 13, 14. And it was quite bad for a while. And I was lucky in a sense that I had some kind of self-worth already, but it still affected me quite a lot. And it still set scars within me. But I was lucky that I got teachers on my side that helped me, that I spoke to. I went to go quite far before I asked for help, which I really regret. I should have asked for help pretty much straight away. Something I'm quite passionate about in schools is to stop bullies, because I know how much it can tear kids down and how much it can affect them.
So if you're a young person now that's a victim of bullying, the bully might say to you, if you tell anybody you're going to be in trouble or whatever, what advice would you give young people watching this if they're being bullied at the moment?
I have 2 advice. 1, tell an adult. Be your teacher, be your aunt, uncle, your parents, someone you trust. Tell an adult. 2, know your self-worth is in you and not in what other people say. I think having self-worth and understanding that just because someone says something about you doesn't necessarily mean it's true, and that you decide your worth yourself and you make sure that you know how awesome you are.
Now, the whole of Scandinavia, it's steeped in a rich history and a rich culture of storytelling. I think Denmark produced Hans Christian Andersen, and obviously you mentioned the Lady Astrid the other day, that there was a great storyteller from Sweden, and the Viking tales. But one of the greatest storytellers from Sweden is a lady called Tanja Hansson, and I believe she produced a book called Gale and the Dying Sun.
Yes.
Have you got a copy to show us there?
I do.
Right. Can you tell me, and anybody watching, What's the premise? What's Gala and the Dying Sun all about?
So Galen and Dying Sun is a story I came up with when I was about 10 years old. And it's a story about a girl, obviously called Gala, whose world is in trouble. And she decides that she is going to save her world if no one else is. And it's a story about a girl who just refused to give up and believes in herself above anyone else. And Gala is the girl I wanted to be when I was 10. So I just created the version of me I wish I could be as a 10-year-old.
That's interesting when you said that the young Gala was the girl you wanted to be. How much of the 31-year-old Tanja now is Gala?
Quite a lot. My friend says that when they've read the book, they go, Gala is you, isn't she? And it's who I wanted to grow up to be. Someone who does believe in herself, but also someone who tries to do the right thing. I do have a very soft spot for her. You know it yourself, being a writer, you get emotional and you get attached to your characters really easily.
And very protective of them as well, don't you?
Yeah. God, so protective.
Yeah. So you said you're very fond of Gala, and when you were writing, you didn't want it to end.
No.
Will she be coming out again?
I hope so. My plan was originally 5 books, so we will see. It all depends. Yourself now, self-publishing is a hard industry, so it all depends what happens and budgets and things. But Gayla will always come back because I love her too much to let her down.
As a child, you've shared with me in the past, there was probably no way you were ever going to become a freelance writer. What did you, I think it was 19 before you got your diagnosis.
Yeah.
Why would you never be a writer? In your mind, why was you never going to be a writer?
I found out when I was 19, I was dyslexic. And it made my whole life then made sense why I struggle with a lot of things. So even reading was really hard for me. And writing, forget about it. I struggle with spelling. I struggle with words moving. Still to this day, I struggle with the difference between C and S and so many things. So there's no way I was going to be a freelance writer. But when I got my diagnosis, I was like, I'm going to try even harder now and I'm going to do even better. So I started studying so much to become better. And I mean, I still struggle to this day, but spell check is the savior. But I've become better because I've kept trying to be better.
So if you've got a young girl, a young boy, 10-year-old, 10-year-old in a class who is struggling, he can't spell words, but he's got a fantastic imagination, can he or she still become a writer?
Oh God, yeah. And imagination is the main thing. So many people can write, but storytelling, no, that is the main thing with a story. Storytelling is important. You can read a book that might not have the best. I mean, let's take Harry Potter. She is a good author, but she's not the best well-written author in the world. But her imagination, it's incredible.
And the storyteller, she's superb, isn't she?
Exactly. And storytelling is the hardest bit. Writing is easy. Yeah. When you get into it, storytelling, on the other hand, is completely different. And so
with these little things with iPhones and that little picture of Paula there, she just popped up there.
I love her.
But she loves you very much. But again, with you can talk into your iPhone and it'll almost dictate what you're saying. So
yep.
I get some, I'm blessed enough to be a primary school teacher, and I see so many young people who've got a great imagination, and it's almost the exam system, because you can't write and because your grammar's not correct, you'll never be a writer. To me, that's absolutely rubbish.
Yep.
Yeah, if you can spell and you've got great grammar, that's fantastic, but it's the imagination. So
yeah, that's the main thing, imagination.
So any youngster out there watching this who thinks, oh, I'm not very clever, I'm not as clever as Sally or Tommy on the top table, or what, that doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter at all. Grades just shows how good you are at studying. It doesn't show anything about your character.
Absolutely. So Gala and the Dying Sun is your first of your books, and I believe you self-published this one.
I did.
Knowing what you know now, would you still go through with it?
Yes, 100%. No, I would not change anything for it. Yeah, I would still go through with it.
It's a difficult route though, isn't it?
Oh, it's so difficult. It's so, because you're on your own doing it, because your ultimate, it's your decisions, it's your money, and it's your ego on the
Yeah,
line.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
not always easy.
And what would you say for anybody again? I want this video to appeal to young people, like you say, young people
Yeah.
that were been bullied, young people with dyslexia, which we spoke about, and also for young or people, you know, adults that want to self-publish. What would you say were the 3 top tips for, in your opinion, for self-publishing?
The 3 top tips, first of all, you have to have people helping you. So I had an illustrator, editor, and I had several editors actually. You need to have the money together to do it, because it is expensive and you can't lose hope. Because when you lose hope, you lose it and you stop trying.
Have you ever had that? Have you ever had those feelings? Because I get told off for everyone I do. I always give a plug of my little book, Peter Pants.
Yeah.
It's there, Peter Pants. But in here, are there ever days like me? One day you feel like the next J.K. Rowling, and then the next day you feel a 3-year-old could have wrote this story.
Yep. And then you completely go, you throw it away. You're like, I can't believe I wrote that. I can't believe people have that in their hands. They're not going to like me anymore. They're going to be like, who does she think she is? So yeah, I get that a lot.
I always tell my young learners at school, and most of them know, that fear tells lies, and all that is fear. It's fear telling us that. And like we've said before, is selling them is the difficult part, is because you love those little characters. And I think you said the other day, what's the frustrating thing about your characters?
What's the frustrating thing about them? That they're not with me anymore.
Yeah. And you want people to love them as much as you do.
Of course I do. That's one of the reasons I decided to publish, is because I love them so much and they've helped me so much, and I want them to be in other people's lives. I mean, my childhood changed because of writing and because of storytelling. And my childhood was in Hogwarts, I was in Narnia, I was with the Famous Five and Robin Hood. All of that is such a big part of my childhood, and I wanted children to have Gala to be part of their childhood.
So Tanja, The Adventures of Gala and the Dying Sun. It's a great little book. I really enjoyed it, and I could really identify with it. Although I'm a 57-year-old man, I could identify with some of the traits with Gala. She's a super little character. So I believe you're taking Gala into school. What are you going to do?
So I take Gala into schools, and we wrote a lesson around Gala and her adventures and what she gets up to. And then I teach the kids as well storytelling. So they tell me what Gala gets up to. And then we do drawing competitions as well. And it's lovely. And I get to read a chapter as well from Gala and the Dying Sun. And then I do questionnaire afterwards if they want to know what it's like to be a writer. And it's lovely. I love being around kids, and Gala is 11, which means that the kids between, even from 8 upwards, they can identify with her and her struggles and how she is. And it's just really lovely to go in and be around kids and letting them get to know Gala. I love it.
And after the workshop, have the children and the parents, do they get opportunity to buy Gala, the book?
Yes, they do. They get opportunity to buy her.
And what I'll do at the end of this video, I'll put the links on my last slide. I'll put all the links of your social media.
Thank you.
So one thing I love about these little talks, Tanja, is people invite us into their homes. But it's I'm naturally quite nosy. So when I'm talking to people, I'm looking at the back, and I always say to people, if you've got a vase of flowers, make sure it's not coming out the top of your head or whatever. But I've noticed that you've got a lovely picture on the back. What's that picture of? Just over your left shoulder.
Oh, I drew that a few years ago, and that became the cover of my book afterwards.
But I thought I recognised the. Have you got your book with you?
Yeah. So can you?
I can't. Right. I've seen the pink and the turquoise, and right.
Picture of Gala, how I imagine her world, and then my illustrator used that picture to do the cover. Wonderful. Better than me, obviously.
That's wonderful. Stop putting yourself down. In your future books, are you going to write any books that sort of address the issues of either dyslexia, bullying, traveling to new countries? Are any of them on the horizon?
Yes and no. So all the books I write is all fantasy based. That's the kind of books I love. I love when I write, I want to get out of my world, and that's what I want to give my readers. Well, so I address those issues, but maybe not in the way that you would in a book that is about our world right now. So the new book series I work out, that character, she's dyslexic and she's an 11-year-old girl, and she also has a problem in school. And that book is actually based in England, which has made it a bit easier for me to do research around the town the book is based in. But I always bring in my personal experience in my books. I came up with Gayla when I was bored in math class. I didn't do well for math, so I just came up with Gayla, and then she stayed with me for 20 years.
And now she's come to life. Now, you are a Swedish national, I believe. Yep. You look Swedish. You speak with a Swedish tone to your voice. But I've never actually heard you speak Swedish. So until I actually hear you speaking Swedish, I don't actually believe you're Swedish. So if you could think of a Swedish word or a Swedish sentence or something, slowish enough so I can't speak Swedish. Just say it slowly, then say it in the way you would normally say it. So tell me your sentence.
Snälla, kolla på peptalks. Det är en fantastisk show och du kommer att gilla den.
Right, say it again.
Snälla, kolla på peptalks. Det är en fantastisk show och du kommer att gilla den.
I got pep talk. Obviously, I got pep talk. And hopefully, did I get the word fantastic?
Yes, you did.
Oh, what was it in English then?
Please watch Pep Talks. It's a fantastic show and you will love it.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Tanja, it's been absolutely wonderful. And,
thank you for.
I'm going to watch this again. There could be a little prize for children. How many times does Pep say wonderful? So it has been wonderful. It's been enlightening. Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where Gayla goes next. I really want young people to engage with Gayla and to go on the adventures with her. And just keep developing her. Yeah.
That's my big dream, for kids to enjoy Gayla. Even if one kid enjoy it, that's all.
And that's all you need. So you got your book there. So from Pep and Peter Pants to Tanja and Gayla, I'll see you later.
Thank you.
You take care now. God bless you, Tanja. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.